Censorship in America is crazy. And if you think there aren't people who are afraid and terrified that people like myself and others have a bigger influence than CNN does, bigger influence than Fox does, a bigger influence than many of these mainstream media organizations that sit here and lie to you and push propaganda. They are terrified that somebody like me has 5,000 a day. Most of the time during the week, I had over, I don't know how many I had, over 10,000 people watching almost every day during the week. I've had 40,000 people watching live before. They don't have numbers like that. And they're afraid of that. So let me let you play. I'm going to play this clip. ABL did a video about this one too, but I saw this one earlier. A clip of a person going on to CNN and explaining why people like myself and other conservative YouTubers should be completely banned, and he likened us to ISIS. Don't believe me? Listen to it for yourself. Let me roll the film.
Information crisis that has been perpetuated, in my view, by platforms like the one where I used to work, Facebook, as well as Twitter and others.
It's really hard because what's happening is people are able to seek out the
First of all, put some bass in your voice, bruh. All right, go ahead.
Information that makes them feel good. That is what's happening, is that people have so much choice now. They can choose what their news sources are. They can choose what influencers they want to follow. And they can try to seal out anything that helps them question that. And I think that gets to
That's America. You have the freedom to do whatever you want to do. We're not stuck into listening to you clowns.
a really core issue with how our freedoms as Americans and the way we've treated press freedom in the past is being abused by these actors.
Press freedom is being abused by these actors. Social media platform has nothing to do with the press. That y'all can lie and do all kind of crazy stuff. Lie, mislead people, get stuff wrong, and y'all remain as the primary source on air. You have the ability to go and interview the president. Y'all show up to everything. You have a press pass to the White House, and y'all sorry son of a guns are sitting up here lying to the people. That's why social media is so powerful. That's why things like YouTube is so powerful. That's why people like me have 1.4 million people that watch the channel, because y'all are fake.
In that we have given a lot of leeway, both in the traditional media and on social media, to people to have a very broad range of political views. And it is now in the great economic interest of those individuals to become more and more radical. And I think that...
No, it's economic interest to tell the truth. To tell the truth.
One of the places you can see this is on the fact that you now have competitors to Fox News on their right, OANN
Yes.
and Newsmax, which are carried by all the major cable networks, who are trying to now outflank Fox on the right, because the moment
No, they not.
Fox introduced any kind...
The moment that Fox goes left, that's when OAN them step up. Fox went left. We're not outflanking them to the right. They're going left. We're staying right in the middle.
Kind of realism into their reporting, immediately a bunch of people chose to put themselves into a sealed ecosystem. And they can do that both on cable, they can do it online, and that becomes a huge challenge of figuring out how do you bring those people back into the mainstream of fact-based reporting and try to get us all back into the same consensual reality.
No, you want to pull those people back into the echo chamber of the lies that you want the people to hear. Donald Trump got incredibly popular because people like myself and others who can think for ourselves, who are not bought and paid for by the media, can give you reality and give you facts unfiltered, and we can live off of doing it. Because if our content is good enough, you'll watch it, you'll share it, people will watch it, and we got ads on it, just like they do. They run ads in their program, and they get paid if people are... How many people are in front of those ads is how they get paid. They're mad because people like myself and other YouTubers run ads on our videos and we get paid. And we don't have to be filtered. We can say whatever we want to say. Now they try to filter us. We can say whatever we want to say. They can't. They got to read a teleprompter. I don't have to read a teleprompter. I can compile all this information and give it to you with no filter. Here you go. Do what you will with it. They cannot stand it. They can't stand it because they need to control the narrative.
And can you? Is that possible? Seems like that's an open question.
It's hard. I mean, I think we got to do a couple things. One, there needs to be an intentional work by the social media companies collaborating together to work on violent extremism in the same way they worked on ISIS.
What?
When I started at Facebook in 2015, the number one challenge from a content perspective was the abuse of social media by the Islamic State. And there was a collaboration between the tech companies and between the tech companies and law enforcement to make it impossible for them to use the internet to recruit and radicalize mostly young Muslim men at the time around the world. Now we're talking about domestic audience in the United States. And the challenge is going to be partially that, ISIS did not have a domestic constituency in the United States Congress. But there is over half of the Republicans in Congress voted to overturn the election. And there will be a continual political pressure on the companies to not take it seriously. So I think first, you have to focus on those violent extremists, and those companies have to be brave in that way. And second, we have to turn down the capability of these conservative influencers to reach these huge audiences. There are people on YouTube, for example, that have a larger audience than daytime CNN. And they are extremely radical and pushing extremely radical views. And so it's up to the Facebooks and YouTubes in particular to think about whether or not they want to be effectively cable networks for disinformation. And then we're going to have to figure out the OANN and Newsmax problem. That these companies have freedom of speech, but I'm not sure we need Verizon, AT&T, Comcast, and such to be bringing them into tens of millions of homes. This is allowing people to seek out information if they really want to, but not pushing it into their faces, I think is where we're going to have to go here.
This is somebody who was at the top of Facebook. This is really troubling. And it angers me because they don't agree with you. They can openly come on CNN and say you should be silenced. Extremists, I have never seen violence at a Trump rally. Never. I've never seen violence at a Trump rally, and I've been to many of them. I've never seen violence from conservatives until the Capitol. 5 years of Trump. All that the left has done, you never see real violence from conservatives, ever. And I think that's the reason why they didn't secure the Capitol, because they didn't think nobody was going to do anything, because conservatives are not violent, especially unnecessarily. But because you don't think like they do, because people like myself have the power to speak to the people, they want us shut down. They want us eliminated. They want us off the air. They want us to not be able to feed our families while they get on TV and lie and perpetuate falsehoods and put you in an echo chamber. These people only have one perspective. They only see things from the left. All they do is bash Trump. All they do is bash conservatives. People deserve to have another opinion. They deserve to have another thought, and let them be smart enough to determine which one is true. If you only hear this stuff all day, you will be a lost soul. You got to listen to other stuff and then be able to filter out what's real and what's not. They call us extremists. I ain't said nothing extreme. I'm just keeping it 100. They don't want OAN on there because the people are determining what they can watch. The people are saying, okay, Fox, you didn't took a spiel. We're going to go to these other platforms. Now their ratings are way up here. And they can't stop it. They want to control. They want to push propaganda. More and more and more, they're letting people come on TV like this knucklehead. This guy right here should be banned from television. This is inciting violence. This is inciting the cooperation of thwarting the Constitution of the United States of America. This person is the culprit. This is the domestic terrorist. He wants to come on to influence, to silence people who don't agree with the CNN mainstream thought. If you want to say who should be banned, this guy should be banned. If this guy's not banned, Alex Jones and nobody else should be banned. Everybody should be able to have an opinion because this guy is spewing lies and evilness. Let him stay and let other people have an opinion as well. If you want other people to get taken off, this guy should be the first one to go off the air because this is inciting violence against conservatives, painting the picture that conservatives are domestic terrorists. This is what he said. He compared them to ISIS. He used to work for Facebook. This is the kind of people they hire. These people are evil. I would never go on television and say left-wing people should be banned from the internet. Their ideas are horrible. People on the left ideas are horrible. They want communism. They want people to be at Planned Parenthood every weekend. They believe in 45,000 genders, which is not supported by science, yet they want you to believe in the science when it comes to a mask that the science says doesn't even work. Evilness in this country. Hypocrisy in our country. Evilness and hypocrisy. This fear infuriates me. I have to pray because this type of stuff infuriates me. It makes me so upset that these people get on TV and bash Americans because they disagree. They don't just come out and say, here's why they're wrong. They say they shouldn't even be on television. They shouldn't have a voice. They shouldn't even be able to monetize any of their quality work when y'all doing nothing but monetizing. I'm over here circling on my computer, not even over here. All they doing is monetizing. And they got access to everything. They need to start giving people like me and others access to go in the press room and ask questions of the presidents and the vice presidents and Kamala Harris. Let me go in there and ask some questions. Let's rank on ratings. How many people watch these CNN people? How many people watch me? If I get more people watching me, that means I'm influential enough that I should be in there asking questions. But y'all know how it goes. That's the name of the game. That's the name of the game. That's the way. That's how the cookie crumbles.